Good evening, everybody. We welcome you back again in the another episode of Baatein Kuch Dil Se by your host and host Kanak Bharat Parashar, powered by Bakshit Book Companies. So this is a very special episode, very close to my heart and very close to very people, a lot of people's heart because it's all about fitness and muscles and building up the body, and we have got a true icon of our country. Yes, guys. So let's start the show. uh, देखते हैं in this busy world we need to follow a common path that helps us be both healthy and fit. What do you say about it? But is that easy? Is that so easy? Oh, no. So this is the year when everybody decided to get healthy abhi lockdown ke karan, and they have worked down on their body, or they live your best life and adorn the walls of social media with the fruits of your hard labor at the gym, and you have purchased several self-help books. इस बार हमने करा है pandemic में, and you're following every fitness influencer. We're listening to every motivational podcast and reading every article to the best way to reach our goals, isn't it? And suddenly we become so committed that you have decided to throw down your entire tax return on a personal trainer and a nutritionist. And suddenly it has become, and we have become our health awareness हमारे में आ गई है, और हमें एक अपनी बॉडी अच्छी बनानी है, अच्छा लुक देखना है, but working on your body before understanding and working on your mind is like putting your new rims and tires on your car, you know and when it doesn't have a steering wheel, the car will drive down the road and make progress, but probably hit every parked car entry along the way, and never get to where it is or you want it to go. So you need to be in sync with your body and your mind, and be clear with your goals, and let us help you reach out there with your all the whatever body you want, and whatever decisions you've taken for your healthiness and the fitness, and about your body. So let's just welcome you all. A very good evening to everybody here. Let's welcome you to the show Baatein Kuch Dil Se with your host and host Kanak Bharat Parashar. I'm a mother of a beautiful daughter, 14 years of industry experience, founder of Ashwina Jewels, Queen for a Day contest, और अब आपके अपने शो बातें कुछ दिल से में। आज का हमारा टॉपिक है मल्टी प्रोंग्ड अप्रोच टू फिटनेस, और जो कि ये बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक है। और अगर हम फिटनेस और मसल्स की बात करें, इट इजंट जस्ट फॉर दोज हु आर इनटू फिटनेस एज अ हॉबी। मसल की जो स्ट्रेंथ है, मसल स्ट्रेंथ इज क्रूशियल फॉर गुड हेल्थ, especially as we age. It is very important. It is not about the gymming or body, but it is for us also as we age. Muscle strength is important to help reduce injuries. ये injuries कम करता है, और strong muscles जो है वो वो बोन्स को स्ट्रेंथन करते हैं, ब्लड शुगर कंट्रोल करते हैं, कोलेस्ट्रॉल लेवल बढ़ाते हैं, मेंटेन अ हेल्दी वेट, reduce joint pain, and fight that those deadly depressions. And we have got a very special guest tonight, none other than Dr. Rita Jairath. She is a bodybuilder, fitness guru, writer. She's IFBB Pro League International judge. She's been covered into the Forbes magazine, जो कि सबका एक ड्रीम होता है उस मैगजीन कवर में आना. And she's won lot of many prestigious international awards. Basically उनके बारे में अगर बोलूँ तो वो एक she's one of the pioneering athletes in women's bodybuilding from India, and she has won prestigious pro card from the International Federation of Bodybuilding. She has various national and international bodybuilding accolades under her belt. एंड 3 साल उन्होंने लगातार नेशनल बॉडी लिफ्टिंग चैंपियनशिप करी, और उसके बाद में उन्होंने बॉडी बिल्डिंग में आई, एंड शी बिकेम द फर्स्ट वुमेन फ्रॉम इंडिया to complete in Arnold Classic and Amateur Olympia, and we salute you, ma'am, for that. The achievement is endless in the world of fitness of hers, and she is one amazing woman I have come across. Help me welcome the pride of the nation, the woman of the muscle, the woman in muscle, the country's Wonder Woman, Dr. Rita Jairath in front of you guys. Let me have all the honor to get on the board Dr. Rita Jairath. Welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the very kind words.
You, ma'am, these words are nothing in front of the achievements what you have given to the nation, and I'm a very small part of it. Just to, it's on behalf of all our viewers. We have a deep down from our heart, like a lot of gratitude to you for all your accomplishment to the nation.
Thank you so much.
मैम कमिंग आगे बढ़ते हुए हम सबसे पहले तो आपको जानना चाहेंगे कि आप अपने बारे में कुछ हमें बताइए।
Well, as you've already told everybody, I am a bodybuilder, and I will remain a bodybuilder at heart, even if I don't compete. I have given up competitive bodybuilding now, and I am a judge because I wanted to remain associated with industry, which is so close to my heart, and it's so much of my identity. And and I have a son. He's now he will be 32 years in November,
Wow.
and so he's a big boy. And
You don't even look like you have such a big son, ma'am. मतलब this is commendable.
probably the first testimony of having a healthy lifestyle, that it should show and reflect in everything you do, not just look, but in everything you do, the way you walk, the way you sit, the way you stand, and the way your stance is, that should reflect in your soul. So that is one of the bonus, the aesthetics. I always say aesthetics and body composition is a bonus and just a consequence of living a healthy lifestyle, and there's so much more to it. And
Wow.
so I'm a writer. I write articles in magazines, three magazines, fitness magazines that I'm associated with, and now I'm writing a book. And there's a reason
Wow.
why I'm writing a book, because I have touched fitness and various aspects of it in certain ways which probably no one has done, and I feel that my life in itself has been unconventional, and I've had the opportunity to introspect and think of life and things. So I wish to express that. So I'm writing a book, and I'm sure it's going to be very, very unique. Also, that in magazines people see more of pictures. This generation is more with instant gratification photographs, and I feel that the kind of readers that I should get, I don't get in periodicals. So I feel that I must write a book which stays as a legacy with me. That's absolutely mine. So besides that, I am also now a Bharatnatyam dancer. I've actually restarted. I restarted after almost 25 years. And so it's been like 2-3 years since I'm doing this now. And in the pandemic period, I started a martial art called Kalari Paitu, which is an ancient Indian martial art.
Wow.
So I'm exploring that, and it's wonderful. So I have a little business. I work with that, and so that's about it. Just putting
Lovely,
the
ma'am. Lovely, ma'am. Also, what is the business you have?
I train athletes. I give counseling and fitness. I have a supplement store also in Delhi. So
Lovely, lovely. How nice. So now all the fitness lovers, you know now whom to contact, ma'am, and about all your fitness and things, man. So, ma'am, when did you realize that you wanted to become a bodybuilder? कभी सोचा आपने कि मतलब एक तो बहुत बड़ा challenge है women की body वैसे ही we born like a lean and weak people हमें जो माना गया है कि men are stronger and women are weak. So आपने ये कैसे सोचा कि let's go into the bodybuilding and let me just show it to the world, लोग कर सकते मैं क्यों नहीं कर सकती वैसे.
yes, men and women are strong in their respective ways. अभी तो नवरात्रि चल गए हैं, and we are all emphasizing the strength in women. But I never did it to show my strength. I didn't relate it to strength. Bodybuilding is actually body composition. Uh, uh, I had always, as a consequence of the time that we are, I think 60s, children of 60s and 70s have had, unfortunately, as a virtue of their era, they have been able to get involved in outdoor activities, and they have seen the evolution and the emergence and evolution of the computers and convenience, and then eventually now artificial intelligence that is coming up, and the way we connect. But in when I was young, we had a lot more of outdoor games, and I was always associated with some or the other sport. So when my son was born, I had to teach him balancing exercises, and I taught him swimming, I taught him skating, and in the process of teaching him, I competed myself along with him, because I had to get involved. I had to be there for my child. He's a special child, and so when it came to his teenage, and something which he said on his own, like to a child like that, it's always the parent telling, do this and that. But when children come up with their own desire, it's a responsibility. You have to give them, and they come up with a desire to do something positive. So when I took him to the gym and I started helping him to train, at that time, most of the trainers would say, "Don't women shouldn't be doing weight training. Why are you doing this?" And this is ridiculous. And I also discovered that we all have an inherent strength in us. We have not used or applied it. When you start applying, you realize that we have this potential. And so by default also, I was lifting without any effort. I was lifting much heavier than many of the other gym goers were, even if it was twice. So it was quite a struggle to sustain that. And with a child like that, when people were kind of ridiculing him or making fun of him, so I was like kind of adamant and bent upon continuing that journey. I had to be there. It was like my calling. I felt that this is something which I need to do. But we had a few bodybuilding women who would just go on stage, but it was nowhere, in alliance with the international norms. And so I contacted people in US, where this industry is very, very evolved. I traveled there. I stayed with some of the best coaches. It may be a paradox, but just because we had nobody in India who could guide women at that time, I got the opportunity to somehow, I took the initiative of, training with the very best and going all out of my way. And so I competed, internationally, and then, I won. And now, after so many years, like a lot of girls come up to me and say that we looked at you and we started competing. When they say that, it's very, very satisfying and a very, very happy thing for me.
Wow, lovely. Your journey is incredible. I mean, कहाँ से आप शुरुआत आपने करी और कहाँ तक पहुँचे हैं? I mean, मैं तो बस सुनती रही और I'm sure there must be a lot of challenges जब आपने ये शुरू किया होगा. There might be a time, जब आपको ऐसा लगा होगा कि भाई हो गया, मुझसे नहीं हो रहा है अब, और उस समय क्या चीज़ थी? What, जो आपको that kept you, going कि करना है, मुझे जीना है, मुझे करना है, ये, proof करना है अपने आप को. How did you ever come on those challenges?
नहीं, जिद्दी तो मैं हूँ. When somebody tells you not that you can't do something, then I know I have to. Then, as I told you, my son is a special child, and I wanted to do a lot in life. I had the fire and passion in me to, I wanted to do a lot more with my career. And I kind of lost more, 20 to 25 years. I didn't do anything except looking after him. And when he was diagnosed with autism, there was no awareness about autism in India. I had to actually get literature from, my uncle who lives in US, and make my own properties and create my own therapeutic modalities. And there were doctors here who were like amazed that this is the power of a mother. That if she's just bent upon, like doctors told me, he won't be able to speak, and some children do, but it may take say 10 years, 20 years, and nobody can put their whole life aside and just do 20 years, 24 hours that. I said I will do it, because I had lost on everything else, and I had really nothing to look forward to. And so when I started bodybuilding and I saw that nobody has done it, I felt that this is something, where I'm, being with my child, helping him, and I could regain my lost health and strength. A lot of, breakdown, a lot of tragic experiences that had happened earlier had kind of made me very fragile. And this thing was something which could help me to re-emerge, like the phoenix. So there was this opportunity for me to do something unconventional, very new, and a kind of platform to prove myself and stand apart. So that calling, that wish to do something in life, that I just need to do something to say that I got the fire in me, I got the ability in me, where everybody was trying to snatch away my identity. So, that which happens to women a lot, in in-laws' homes and,
Of
so and
course,
so forth,
of course,
especially in
of
our
course.
generation. So, that was something which, kind of reinforced it. But deep inside, primarily, I always had it in me, since childhood, that I would always give my 100% to whatever I could. And this was kind of suiting into my schedule, not disturbing my child. And, it was just suiting in my profile. So that's why probably I was destined. And so I just reached where I have.
But had the journey been difficult? मतलब आज यहाँ तक आप पहुँचे हो एक बच्चे के साथ में, and as you said, your husband is into merchant navy, and he is not there with you most of the time. And how are you handling all this situation? And again, your bodybuilding requires a lot of dedication and passion to invest on yourself. So how could you manage that? मतलब what
Yes,
do you?
difficulties, that the federation people, at the time we had the federation, now it's become an open thing. We had
Yeah.
a federation, and we had to get through that. And there was a substantial amount of corruption, especially with women, because there was no competition out here, so we had to get no objections to represent the country. And
Mhm.
right from training in the gym, so everybody bringing you down. And when you wear a competition suit, then there's a society which is telling you that why do you want to expose. So there were multiple things. But why I was able to do it, probably that I was very isolated because of my circumstances. And so beyond a certain point, if I could just shut my ears to whatever is happening around me, and face the criticism, not face but actually ignore the criticism, and just somehow get my work done and go step one baby step at a time. I knew that I will just go ahead. I was determined. There were a lot of challenges even now, in my fitness journey, whether it's Kalari Paitu that I'm doing. It's very exhausting, for a woman beyond her 50s, and it's like to restart Bharatnatyam after 25 years. These are
Wow.
very, very big challenges. And I do make my son do weight training every day. And then
Wow.
I have my regular work and a bit of the social work I'm doing. So
Wow.
it is a lot of work to do. It's sometimes very exhausting, and people tell me to slow down. Sometimes I'm not able to do justice to any of the fields. And then I, just tell myself, just let me go with the flow. It doesn't matter, just go with the flow, and God will take care of
Wow.
everything. Yeah. So there were
Wow.
challenges.
Let me tell you, you look so beautiful. And अगर मैं बात करूँ ना, you're such an inspiration to all of us, for me especially, and who the people who want to look best in, and be healthy into the fitness lifestyle and all. I mean, you just an inspiration for so many women like us. I mean, I salute you from the heart, and you
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 see,
look real.
this is
Yeah.
actually a bonus. I look at the few days ago I saw Kiran Bedi. She's also a grown up woman, and she works like non-stop. So I watched one of her interviews, and she said that when I was young, मैं खूब खेलती थी, खूब खाती थी, और खूब पढ़ाई करती थी, and that's about it. So if you're not deviating from your path and you're just focused, you may do less, you may do more, but eventually you're every single day you are progressing. There is a faith that it will happen. So I think we should focus more on what we can do. uh, how we look is really a bonus. It will come if you're not too indulgent, and you are very, very genuine and positive, and especially humble. You have a pure soul. I think it falls in place. But we should focus upon our abilities of what we can do. The reason why I want to be able to work non-stop always until the end of my life is that I know that I have to serve my son until the end of my life, and maybe even prepare for his life after I go. So
Wow.
I need to, that is always on my mind, and that's the primary thing which gives me the force and strength to keep going, that I have to do more than everybody else. I have to keep myself like much more stronger, because this is like a bank. You're kind of investing your strength, energy, and the more you do, the more you will evolve, and the more you grow. And only then, even if it starts dying down, it will not be that much. So it's like more of an investment. So that's why I'm very passionate about what I do. And how you look, if as I said, if you are living a healthy lifestyle, God is very kind. You can always regenerate. The human body is such. So I think nature is very, very forgiving.
Ma'am, can you just pull your laptop screen का थोड़ा सा नीचे, because you're going a little down. Screen को थोड़ा सा बस
To
that
pull this
is
to,
हाँ थोड़ा
it's
सा
fine. Is
हाँ
this fine? You want me to pull
better.
it up?
हाँ थोड़ा सा हाँ better. Your head is cutting. आपका सिर कट रहा है ऊपर.
Okay. Should I move here?
Center, हाँ. Better.
Okay.
Perfect. Now we on the same level. Okay, ma'am. अच्छा, एक question इससे related मुझे ये बताइएगा. How important is the fitness to look young and अपने age को defy करने के लिए, how is fitness important?
No, absolutely. I think the way you look, what you do is, it's going to radiate in how you look, what you do, how you feel. A lot of people, they spend a lot of money on, say, dresses and makeup, because it's easy. You can just spend money and instantly wear a nice dress and do something, makeup. But when you have to pay say a personal trainer, or you need to spend money on supplement, that is not having instant gratification. So people think that you cannot just see it right away. So it has got no value. But if you are fit, even if you wear, say, 100 rupees t-shirt, you will look, fantastic, because you have a structure and you have a good skin in place. So definitely, if you have a healthy lifestyle and you look good, you're so free. You don't have to wear something to tighten your body, so that the bulge doesn't show out from the dress. You just fit. They say, there is a saying, if I may say that, a little indulgent, that skinny girls look good in clothes, but fit girls look good naked. So when you look good, even when you're without makeup and you're naked, you're so free. Oh, that's what fitness does to you. You are actually so fit from deep within. You don't just need anything, and everything is just a bit of embellishment, and then you're there. So that is the kind, because it comes from so much deep within, and so it kind of gives you a freedom
Of
if you
course.
have a healthy lifestyle.
Of course. Like truly said, ma'am, and I think everybody should try for a healthier and a fitter lifestyle to be more young and,
I
get
read
their
one
life on. Yeah,
definition of women there, since I've already mentioned the word of being
of
naked.
course.
This
Of
is
course. No. Ma'am, this is a forum where we talk from dil se, and I think the people who are around or जो सब देख रहे हैं, they are like all matured people. So it's not सबको पता है सब चीजें. That is the reason I talk openly on the forum. And please do not hesitate to talk dil se. Talk from your heart. Ma'am,
if you are not if you're finding feel like eating an ice cream, which you shouldn't be with excess calories, they say stand in front of the mirror naked, and then eat that ice cream. You will not feel like eating it. That's
wow,
it.
wow. I know. Lovely, what a comparison. अच्छा मैम एक चीज बताओ कि you are the first woman ever from India to ever compete for the amateur Olympia. प्लीज हमें कुछ बताइए इसके बारे में, कैसे हुआ ये चीज और आपने कैसे सोचा कि आपको ये करना चाहिए.
You see, there were a couple of girls who were competing, in the NPC, the National Physique Committee in USA, and in India. So I had this desire to represent my country, and I felt that to officially represent India is like a dream. When you compete in the NPC, it's very prestigious. You have excellent competition out there. but you go in your individual capacity, which has its value, no doubt, because if you're going as an Indian, if you are, you are representing India, but to just, document it and have it on papers, I had the desire to represent India, and so I had approached the general secretary of the federation in India at that time, and so he gave me the permission. We needed a no objection. There's an entire procedure, and so that's how I competed in amateur Olympia, and it was wonderful because I was able to represent my country. That was my purpose. Otherwise, you can compete anywhere, but to represent India officially, that was something which I wanted to do right from the very beginning.
Yeah, and you have added to it. You have done that Arnold wala thing also, and you have brought very, pride to the nation. How was it? How was the experience? It was such a big one. I mean, uh, these two champions.
Fortunately, I got the opportunity. Now Arnold has tied up with several other federations, and he's got. Of course, we still have the Arnold Classic in Columbus and in Australia. This year, of course, you know what had happened. But I was very fortunate, to that it was there, Arnold Classic in Hong Kong, and I did compete in Spain also. It was in Madrid once, and in Barcelona once, and in Hong Kong once. So I got to represent India, and I met Arnold every time. So that was fun, and I took pictures. And so they're obviously very, very memorable for me. Having come from India, we had a lot of Europeans. We used to have sometimes, 70, 80 competitors. Every woman was a champion of her country. And I never imagined that, especially the Hong Kong one, it's such a tough lineup. I felt that just representing my country is wonderful. And I have stage pictures and all that. But when I came in the top 5, also I was just hoping that if I just get the bronze medal, I'm happy. And so when the bronze medal was announced, I thought that I might be just left out. But then I got the silver medal, and Juliet Bergman, she's a very, very legendary bodybuilder. She's of course a European, and she came and presented the medal to me. I was like, I said, thank you, ma'am, for giving me this. I mean, this is really going to make a big difference to my life. We don't go and do Arnold Classic every day. And that too, after I had already crossed a certain age, I knew that everybody, no matter what sport you are in, even Sachin Tendulkar has to retire one day. You can remain fit till the end of your life. You can be fit, super fit, but to do competitive sport at international, at the topmost elite level, you got to understand that you're putting the country's prestige on stake. So after a certain time, you need to retire. You become a mentor, and you carry forward the legacy sport, continue to play. But then you need to win, and then that's quite an extreme.
Wow, such a prestigious thing, मैम, and it's such an achievement. मैम, अगर हम बात करें आज के टॉपिक के बारे में, तो ये जो मल्टी pronged approach to fitness है, मैम, what is this? The true meaning of it, what is it?
Yes, as you have written to me, there are certain components of fitness. It's just fitness is not just strength. It is, even flexibility, your body composition, the speed, the power, and even the reaction time, balance. There is a lot more. Actually, there are 11 components to fitness. So there is endurance and, the mindset also, everything together. So if you take one aspect of fitness to the extreme, like in bodybuilding, we take the body composition to the extreme. The other components do get compromised to some extent. Okay. If you're doing powerlifting, then you're taking one component to the extreme. I see, because I have touched various fields. Like right now, I'm with the martial arts people and the Bharatnatyam people. I don't associate myself or get obsessed with any one thing. I look at it as my individual journey, my journey. This is me as a human being. It is also, exploring, my own self and exploring the human body. It's my independent research, that what can I do, to maximize everything and find the equilibrium according to my genetic potential. So if you look at it like that, you need to detach yourself to the absolute result. And that, of course, happens in competition also, especially a subjective sport like bodybuilding. If you're going to compete, I know that I've done my best, but now I cannot work hard and become 6 feet tall. I cannot work hard and change the shape of my nose. There's certain things which are really, really beyond your control. The length of your limbs and the muscularity or the distribution of the type of muscle fibers in your body, everything is different in everybody according to the, when on an international platform, we have people who have got who are genetically better off even as a population, if you look at their anthropological perspective. So I detach myself to the result, and I feel that if a person is not focusing on a particular competition, then you must develop an all-round fitness. So right from, so many things matter, and I have realized many of the things in a hard way, that even your balance, even your sense organs, your breathing, your eyes, everything is so precious. In Bharatnatyam, we have, the Drishti Bheda, the Grieve Bheda, the Shiro Bheda, how the head moves, the head movement of the eyes, the movement of the neck, and how every, right from your, if you're holding your hand, it's a flexed, it's a controlled hold. You're not holding anything loosely. There are mudras, so they make you so much better. The balance develops. Now, I'll just give you a little example of one of the things which I faced. I was practicing for a show, for a Bharatnatyam performance. And, during the practice, I took a rest in between, and I just closed my eyes for a few minutes. And when I got up, I started getting, this vertigo, bouts of vertigo. And, I did the performance somehow. I traveled to Mumbai, I came back, and then I was told that the nerves in my ears, they are dead, and I was hearing echo. So this is, you're aging, and this will go. It will never come back. You may need to try with steroids, but it will never come back. You just need to realize that you're aging. And that was a period when I had started doing pranayam, and the word Om has got metaphysical properties, which has resonance with the natural frequency of the cells and the atoms in our body. So I don't know the exact intricacies, but they definitely, because of the pranayam, very soon I recovered. I got my balance. There is no echo. My hearing was fine. And then when I started, training, started focusing more on Bharatnatyam, where you have isometric holds. I feel that even that is a part of bodybuilding. Why not? Any person who is losing fat and gaining muscle and strengthening himself, you're constructing your body in various unseen ways, is actually bodybuilding. It is something positive. So there is a difference between bodybuilding and competitive bodybuilding. And if you start looking at everything as bodybuilding, we have a very closed mindset. So when you're doing you're approaching fitness from different perspectives, it makes the journey very ecstatic. So there were things in Bharatnatyam which I couldn't do. And I was like, in the beginning, I never told anybody that I'm into bodybuilding. I thought my teacher would say, you're a bodybuilder, you cannot do this. So,
वो स्टेपनेस लगती है ना कि यहाँ स्टिफ हो जाती है बॉडी, मतलब इतने मसल्स आ गए तो हाउ विल यू बी फ्लेक्सिबल वैसा.
So I thought that, I realized that there is so much more to fitness, which we don't think. When we restrict ourselves to a gym or to a certain domain, we think that that is the whole world. But there's a whole huge world to explore, and we can be so much more. So, eventually I learned balance, and whatever I was not able to, achieve, I read through the literature. We were researching, and I read about a performer called Chandralekha, who did Kalari Paitu as well as Bharatnatyam. And Kalari Paitu is a martial art. It is it is an ancient form of martial art. Actually, it's the mother of all the martial arts. It was
Okay.
Bodhisattva who carried this art from India and tweaked it, and all the martial arts, judo, jiu-jitsu, karate, taekwondo, everything has actually emerged from this. So we have such a beautiful heritage actually, and it has got tremendous amount of healing properties. So I learned that if you are able to master even the basic exercise regime, forget about warfare. Even if you're able to do that, you can really do everything else very easily. And one of the things they focus upon a lot is the pelvic girdle. Your entire spine, your body is kind of based on the pelvic girdle. So if you
Mm-hmm.
focus on opening that, so yoga has that.
Mm-hmm.
Bharatnatyam has a posture called Aramandi, and the Kalaripayattu, of course, a lot of we call it Irutikal, and I don't want to use a lot of South Indian names. I mean, like people will run away. But we have so much of that, and there is so much of culture in Kerala, in Tamil Nadu, and what we have learned from USA. When you just combine it and put it all together, you feel it's the same. There is an analogy in that, in everything that you do. So I
Oh,
feel that you need to touch a bit of everything, and consider it a process. Not attach yourself too much to the result, but it's a process, and then it becomes very, very holistic and very beautiful. You're very complete from within. Everything is actually complementing each other.
of
So
course.
whatever you're losing out in one thing, it kind of gets balanced and covered up in
Got it.
the other. Yeah,
Other
so
thing.
they support each other and they strengthen each other.
परफेक्ट परफेक्ट मतलब सब तरफ से आप सीख लीजिए बेस्ट आपको जो लगता है आपकी बॉडी को सूट करता है अप्लाई दैट टू योर बॉडी
Yes.
सो मैम मूविंग अहेड मैम अगर हमारे पास एक व्यूअर का क्वेश्चन आया था व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन द बॉडी बिल्डिंग एंड बॉडी लिफ्टिंग
Yes, body lifting is actually you lift your own body weight. So it kind of gives you control over your own body. It kind of makes you very aware of your own. You need to have a certain level of agility for that. So when you go for a competition, body lifting competition, you do pull-ups and bar dips. So when you're doing pull-ups, when I did pull-ups, there was a coach in India, a very famous person. He coached the great Khali also,
अच्छा
and very, very respected Dr. Randhir Hasti. I used to be very worried and very, so much in self-doubt. And he used to tell me, you're very special. Don't underestimate yourself, because we don't have women who are doing weight training. Because at the time, weight training in women was like very, very rare. And so, he encouraged me a lot. And then he had, formed this federation. He's, of course, now no more. Then I competed in bodylifting. There were hardly any women who even believed that women can do pull-ups. So there were like literally very few women, even in the whole country, who were able to do pull-ups, and now we have them all over. I remember very, very clearly. I'm really one of the first. It's not documented, but I'm really one of the first, because when I started doing it, people started trying, and they said, "Women can do it. She does it." And so I was like known for that. In whatever I've seen in the last 15, 16 years, I think I was one of the first. And so I did the body lifting competition. We had to do a total number of pull-ups and bar dips. It's more of a performance-oriented sport. So, I eventually went on to do the maximum, and so I won that.
Lovely, ma'am. I mean, it is all the hardships you have done and dedication with your fitness and exercises. Obviously, that's commendable. मैम एक चीज बताओ अगर हम फिटनेस ट्रेनिंग की बात करेंगे तो ये क्या होगा मतलब हाउ विल यू डिस्क्राइब अ प्रॉपर फिटनेस ट्रेनिंग टू गेन दैट नाइस बॉडी मस्कुलर बॉडी कैसे
No, fitness training. See, fitness training is different, and forming a body is different.
ओके
Yeah.
लेट्स टॉक अबाउट फिटनेस ट्रेनिंग पहले एंड देन विल कम आउट टू द मस्कुलर
Yeah. So fitness is, of course, you need to have a combination. Now, everybody cannot do everything. It's absolutely impractical. I am professionally, not only professionally associated with fitness, but I'm like very passionate about it. But when it comes to a general population, how you define fitness is first of all very important. For some people, just lack of disease is fitness, and they're fine. I have no cardiovascular problem, no blood pressure, no hypertension, no, blood sugar, diabetes, and then I'm fine. So they're happy with that. So it's also what you want out of it. But I feel one should be able to do a considerable amount of work without getting exhausted. And so for that, you need to have a basic cardiovascular stamina and some strength in your muscle. And if you are doing weight training on a regular basis, your bone density will not go down. Women, especially after menopause, they will not develop osteoporosis. So a basic fitness regime must have basic cardiovascular exercises, some strength training elements, and some stretching and yoga for flexibility. That's a basic routine. You
Okay.
can just yeah. But now, how far you want to take which component? That really depends on your personal interest, your tendency, your abilities. And sometimes even your restrictions. Like some people may want to do something, but they have problem in the knees. So how to work on that part. If they have any special problems, specific problem in the rotator cuff. You see, injuries in rotator cuff, knees, and the lower back very, very often. So you need to strengthen the muscles around that. But basic fitness is you must strive for is something that you're able to work, and lift a certain amount of weight. If you need to, do shopping, you need to carry back your bags, and you should be able to walk a considerable distance without getting exhausted. You should not be able to succumb to cognitive stress. This is something which is very important. Like people who are on desktop jobs, they sit in one place, or students who are studying, they undergo a lot of cognitive stress. So they may not be doing any physical labor, but they get very, very tired. They need to be told that you need to develop a kind of energy level and agility. So take short breaks and go for little walks, so that you don't have that stress. Sometimes relaxation is also active relaxation, like meditation. It's part of your. It should be a part of your fitness journey. And of course, goes without saying that the right amount of nutrition.
And how the major posture plays important role in body lifts and building up your body, the right correct posture.
Posture, yeah, absolutely. I think that is very, very important. I know people who sit for uh, I used to do classical music. My son is still doing his classical music, from Prayag Sangeet Samiti. I know of students who sit in one place and they're not able to sit with an erect spine on the floor for 1 hour. They bow down and they are not able to maintain a good posture. It just tires them out completely. People are not able to sit with an erect spine for pranayam also. They
Yes.
just end up sitting with a rounded back. So posture is like that. There's something, some weakening of the muscles around the spine.
Okay.
And if you are having a bad posture and your weight training, eventually there will be two things. One is wear and tear, and one is, it can be an actual injury, which can really, really weaken you and debilitate you, make you incapable of doing so many things in life and give you a lot of stress and pain and problems in the future. So posture is, of course, even by holding a correct posture, you're doing a wonderful exercise, actually, making an active effort to keep a posture. Otherwise, as you age, there will be kyphosis and lordosis, which will be very, very difficult to correct. So yoga is one thing, ushtras and a lot of yogas, which are very, very helpful in improving the posture. These are the things which are very, very basic. One must work on them.
मैम एक चीज बताओ, ये अगर आपका पोस्चर खराब हो गया हो, वुमेन्स का जनरली देखा गया है कि प्रेगनेंसी और डिलीवरीज के बाद, बिकॉज ऑफ द सी सेक्शन ना, ये द बॉडी गेट्स वीक एंड द पोस्चर गोज रॉन्ग, मतलब मैंने बहुत लोगों का देखा है। तो क्या वो पोस्चर ठीक हो सकता है अगर हम बाद में उसको ठीक करना चाहें वो पोस्चर को, बिकॉज देयर इट कम्स ऑन द बैक, द वेट एंड एवरीथिंग कम्स ऑन द बैक एंड इट अफेक्ट्स योर बैक। तो वो पोस्चर क्या आप ठीक कर सकते हो?
Yes, yes, absolutely. As I said, God is very kind, but it just depends on how proactive you are when you are healing yourself. There are rehabilitation exercises, there are physiotherapists, there is yoga. Especially in the beginning, I myself, I used to, for my son when he was studying in school, I used to sit down the whole night and rewrite the NCRT books so that he can, for him, for just personalize it for him so that he can kind of customize it so that he can understand and learn. And I had to sit for long hours, and I have been through that. And I have regained, when I started doing deadlifts, right from deadlift to yoga and a lot of therapeutic modalities and exercises, then I know the value of it. That is why it depends on you how much you want it. So it is not easy in the beginning, because you tend to get back to your posture. You kind of call it a comfort zone which you're used to, and you don't want to make that proactive effort. When you're changing, you're correcting your posture, it needs that you make an endeavor to kind of sit straight, and even if it's uncomfortable, keep on doing it. Sometimes you need your loved ones to keep reminding you, "Sida khada ho." Just somebody to keep reminding you of correcting your posture. And sometimes you just need to remind yourself when you have nobody. But it definitely, you can correct it, unless it is gone grossly wrong where it needs a surgery. But definitely it is correct, you can correct it.
How does the body build up muscle? If you want a muscular body like yours, is it a very tough this thing? It's a very challenging thing. How much dedicated do you need to be for to get the kind of body you have, or a male or want to have that kind of body? How
No,
difficult?
no matter whether you are male or female. See, the IFBB has now come up with divisions which are not kind of asking women to be actual bodybuilders. Women bodybuilding is banned now. We have the figure division. I did the figure division, and we have the physique, and even the bikini division, the wellness, fitness, so that we can make bodybuilding all inclusive for women, especially for women, because
Okay,
for women it's really unnatural.
okay,
What we used to do is that, in the last days, we actually dehydrate ourselves, we tan, we so that the striations and the separations show. So it is just presented like that. Otherwise, to build a muscle, one has to first of all accept that it is a process. If you
okay,
think it can happen overnight, it cannot. You have to train for years, and it's a process. So even the people who are competing, they see themselves, they see their old pictures, and then they see themselves a few years after that. They are amazed. There's one bodybuilder. She is 76 years old in USA, and she recently posted her picture when she was 50 years old. 50 years old, and she is better now. So it's a process, and muscle can be built. You need to know what is hypertrophy. Hypertrophy is the increase in muscle mass, and how you attain it by weight training. The kind of repetitions you do, the number of repetitions you do, and the kind of weight you lift, the right technique, and then the right nutrition with optimum amount of protein. So if you are able to balance that, you need a good coach first of all.
okay.
In the beginning, once you are into it, you have understood your body, you have evolved, then you get to know. But it is a process. But it is not that difficult. You just need to have a desire, and you need to be the only thing which is needed is consistency and not giving up. If you are resilient, if you are not too attached to the result, you understand that it is a process, it will come eventually. Then anything you do will come, for sure. And it may just take longer, especially for women, and it may not be that kind of muscle which the men can get so easily, but it does happen. You just need to be very consistent.
अच्छा मैम, why do बॉडी बिल्डर्स मतलब दे लुक सो वीक? वही आपने जो बोला कि वो आप रिटेंशन वो करते हो मसल्स को शो करने के लिए, इज दैट द रीजन?
No, say that again.
व्हाई डू समटाइम्स बॉडी बिल्डर्स लुक सो वीक? अगर आप देखेंगे कोई कॉन्टेस्ट वगैरह में ना, तो वो बस उनके मसल्स दिखाई दे रहे थे, वही जो वाटर जो अभी आपने मुझे वो रीजन बताया, वही होगा क्या?
Yes, a bodybuilder is the weakest when he or she is on stage. They are
ओके,
the weakest. The reason is that they have actually got their fat level absolutely down, which is
ओके,
which is sometimes is actually the negative side of competitive bodybuilding, that you get your fat level extremely low, and then you have completely dehydrated yourself. That even the intracellular water is not that. That is why the separations show, because the water is gone, and then the cuts start showing at that point. So they do it only for stage, and in fact, just half an hour before going on stage, they do carb loading, because carbohydrate is a humectant, and it absorbs the remaining water. Also, you haven't been taking water for last couple of days, and then you're completely dehydrated, and then some people even take vegetables like asparagus and all, which are diuretics, and so the muscles start showing. And then when you take the carbohydrate, that even absorbs the remaining intracellular water. So everything shows very beautifully, and the fat levels are very down. So when you don't have any fat to protect you, which is very important for the functioning of the nerves, and you are dehydrated, obviously you're going to look very weak. So when I was competing, my face had completely squeezed, and your features look like that. You just need to accept that. That's the difference between a beauty pageant and a bodybuilding
The
show.
bodybuilding.
Yeah, so they are weak, definitely. That's why I said that bodybuilding is actually the body composition that you are focusing too much upon. So if you are focused too much on one component of fitness, the others get compromised. So no bodybuilder, even when the film stars are showing their abs or whatever, they don't do it. They don't keep it for 12 months. It's only for the photo shoot or for a competition or for a film shoot or whatever they're doing, some video. And once that is over, they just
They come back.
have a lot of carbohydrate, and then they heal quickly. So it's only for that. So you see the photographs again and again. So people think that, oh, this guy has six packs, but nobody will maintain it. It's unhealthy.
Oh, I know. I know. Acha, ma'am, how to build muscles with exercise, and attaching to the same question, does male and female muscles grow differently?
No, the muscles are the same. It's just that men have more amount of testosterone in their body, and
Okay.
because of which there is something which is called sarcoplasmic hypertrophy.
Okay.
Hypertrophy is the increase in muscle mass. Sarcoplasm is the cellular content. In men, the cells get filled with the water and sarcoplasm, so the muscles grow a lot in size. So since they have the hormone, it's very very quick in men. So in women, the muscle cell is the same. The human cell, muscle cell is the same, but they don't have that level of testosterone. They have extremely less amount of testosterone. Women are estrogen dominated individuals, so they have less of that. So whenever you see a competition, the men will be very big in size, and women will be comparatively much leaner. But even to gain that, it takes a hell of a lot. I think women work harder than men. But as in other fields, the male bodybuilding gets much more attention than the female bodybuilding. Even the prize money for men is more.
Is
It's a
it?
market.
It shouldn't be like
Bodybuilding.
that. It shouldn't be like that, because obviously, to get a body like yours, I mean, the bodybuilders of a woman, I mean, it's not easy thing to get
Yeah.
into shape. Yeah. So it
Bodybuilding is
should.
a market-driven sport.
Okay.
So women who get into bodybuilding, they're doing it for themselves or for a certain section, or just
Okay.
for exploring the potential of the human body. But as when it comes to male bodybuilding, even a common boy, if you're born a boy, somewhere they want to show the bicep. All of them want it. So it's a market-driven sport. That is one of the shortcomings of bodybuilding as a sport. It's a subjective sport, and it is market-driven. So that kind of takes away the essence of it. The actual value of it. It takes it away.
मैम एक बात बताओ, जैसे बॉडी बिल्डर्स दिखते हैं बड़े पावरफुल से और विद ऑल दैट स्ट्रेंथ, क्या सच्ची में आर दे दैट मच वो स्ट्रेंथ होती है उनमें, वो स्ट्रांग होते हैं इतना, या फिर वो बॉडी बिल्ड से दिखाने के लिए होती है?
It's a complex thing. See, you need to be strong to be able to endure that much of hunger and calorie deficit, working hard. They have a lot of neural pathways that have developed. They lift very heavy weights to build to cause that micro trauma and then get rested, and it needs a lot of resilience. So they are strong in certain way. But like as I said, and now I got into martial arts. None of the boys look muscular. They say you don't
Nice.
even have to worry about your diet. You eat any damn thing, and this all your calories will just go away. It's such a demanding sport. So what you need to learn is to apply the strength. How you're applying the strength in a specific way. So when you see a bodybuilder with muscle, he may have strength, but he's so full of, he has to focus on how he's looking. So he'll be so focused on his biceps and in his abs and his body structure, because his ultimate aim is the stage. But you may see a person who is very lean and who doesn't look strong at
Very
all,
much so.
but he may be able to fight with a huge bunch of people and be victorious. So it's where you apply the strength. When I went for bodybuilding to a gym, I had started applying my strength on the dumbbells, and I realized that I've got the strength to lift that much of weight and do that many repetitions. So that's also a form of strength. But definitely, when it comes to bodybuilding, it's more of the appearance that is focused upon than actual strength.
मैम अगर एक्सरसाइज शुरू करनी हो और आपने मसल्स पे वर्कआउट करना हो तो सबसे पहले कौन से वाले एरिया से शुरू करना चाहिए?
Actually, this, as I said, when we say multi-pronged approach, it's not only konsa area, it is also that you have to work even upon your breathing, on your sense organs, on your flexibility, on everything. So everything is equally important. But like, if you're talking about, I need to really specify. I strongly believe that everything should be focused around, revolving around weight training. Because weight training, I want to be flexible, because in weight training I don't want to get injured. I want my range of motion to be good. I want to do weight training and not lose my breath, so I need to have good cardiovascular endurance. If my type 2, the slow twitch muscle fibers are well developed, it will help me to lift heavy weights for weight training. Because weight training will help you to retain lean muscle mass and bone density, and improve your metabolism, increase your testosterone levels. That is the primary thing. Everything should be focused around weight training. Now, in weight training, the most important part is the legs. So if you have a week and you're so busy that you have to travel, you have to go to the office early morning, come back late night, you have some event going on, you can't do anything else. So hafte mein ek baar if you do legs, that will kind of, like, not really, but in the kind of, you will be satisfied that you've done your job for this week. So I always do Monday is legs. Monday is always legs, no matter what. Because I know that Monday evening, once I've done my legs, then even if I'm not able to do something someday, or I do less of something, because when you're doing, say, a squat is kind of the king of all exercises, and it is taking care of the largest muscle. Your quadricep, gluteus, and your hamstring put together is such a lot of muscle mass that even if you don't do bicep, it's going to improve the testosterone levels to such an extent that whatever muscle fiber you have in your biceps will develop eventually. And if you're holding a bar and you're doing a squat, you are giving isometric hold to your arms. So I feel that you are engaging your core in a squat. You are using your lower back. So in every way, I think the leg muscle training is something which you must really focus upon. If you don't have good legs, you should kind of divide it into one day hamstring, the posterior chain, the lower back, gluteus maximus and hamstring, and the other day it's the quadricep. You must, like, the focus, the focus should be. So legs is the most important thing. When you say you have to start from something, always start from a major muscle, because the smaller muscles get used anyway. They are supporting the main muscle. So if you're training the big muscle, the major, कहते हैं ना, हाथी निकल गया पूंछ रह गई. So the major work is already done. Yeah.
ओके ओके लवली मैम अगर हम ऑर्डर की बात करें बेस्ट ऑर्डर टू वर्कआउट तो वो क्या होगा आप कैसे बोलोगे कैसे कैसे चीजें हम साथ में लेके और करते चले
I train legs on one day, and the second day, because legs is so heavy, and definitely every week I'm sore for 3 days. So the next day is always arms, because it's relatively a small muscle and doesn't take much stress. So one day I've done a major muscle, and it's got rested. It's arms are in the upper body, and then the third day is a very major muscle, that is back. So back is extremely important, because my back workouts has pull-ups and deadlifts, which are two very, very major exercises. So since you have got rest and you can perform your 100%, you can do that. So the third day is back, and then the fourth day is again a smaller muscle, that is shoulders, and the fifth day is chest. As women, we don't focus too much upon chest. Men focus a lot on bench press. Uh, I see most men, they are always doing,
Yes.
focusing a lot on bicep.
Yeah.
They do, bicep is the smallest muscle. If you're doing back, it's a supporting muscle, it will get trained anyways. But because that shows, so they do,
More of
in the
a,
gym, I don't tell anybody, because they will think that, I'm trying to interfere, but,
of
they
course.
haven't asked me, so I don't say. But, I observe, and I see that men are doing biceps for like 1 hour, and then they take heavy weights and they scream, and they're using the momentum, they're not doing it right. So it's just the bicep and mere dole shole ban gaye, and they're so damn happy about it, but really that's not.
अच्छा मैम एक बात बताओ वुमेन के लिए लाइक आफ्टर डिलीवरी के बाद में ऑब्वियसली एवरीथिंग इज affected, body में दोबारा से regain करना. If you talk about breast also, if you talk about waist also, so how to get back into the shape? If you talk about the breast or the waist, how to get back into the shape for the stomach? Is there any exercises with the machine you can enhance your, workout on your chest or the breast?
Yeah, see, the abdomen, as far as that is concerned, that's the postpartum flap. And a lot of women come up with this question, that they have stretch marks. The stretch marks don't go completely, unfortunately. But when you are pregnant, if you have a preventive approach, so at the time, if you are using vitamin A and shea butter, and not putting on too much weight, unnecessary weight. Earlier they used to say, if you're pregnant, you eat just anything. But you look at the actresses, and they're fantastic now. I mean, they're such devoted mothers, and they eat very healthy. You don't need to grow that fat. So throughout the pregnancy, and this is propagated a lot, especially in Western countries. It is in our country, we say itna itna ghee kha lo. It's not required. I mean, you can have very, very healthy diet, and just continue the same regime, and of course not risk your baby. But you can just live a healthy lifestyle, not get that fat. The postpartum flap will go down eventually. If it gets too big, if there's too much of water retention, then what happens is that there are elastic fibers which break, the collagen fibers, and when it goes back down, then it's very difficult. But the fat levels will go. What
Okay.
remains is low skin, because I have
Okay.
competed with a scar, with stretch marks. I have a huge vertical cesarean scar, and the
Mhm.
stretch marks, and I've competed with that. I just had to put a little bit of tanning cream, and it was fine.
Okay.
But I just feel that the fat will go. It's all excuses. It's just
Okay.
excuses. It makes very less difference. So, but there will be a little bit of low skin, and people who are very, very obsessed, like if you are professionally into modeling, or these days we have beauty pageants for Mrs. India. If you
Mhm.
just cannot put up with that, and you want to live, they're very safe tummy tuck surgeries. But
Mhm.
having said that, if you're going for tummy tuck surgeries, you must be very, very sure about your lifestyle. Because no matter what you do, I had a sister-in-law, she's no more. She got bariatric surgery done, and she was 150 kgs.
Okay.
Uh, she they decrease the size of the stomach so that she eats less, but
Mhm.
she again ate so much that she again became that much. So if you're not sure about your lifestyle, it's going to
Mhm.
come back very, very quickly.
Of
So
course.
first you need to be 100% with your lifestyle, and if you feel that you're very honest with yourself, and if it's not still going, you can go for a tummy tuck. It's a good thing to do, in today's world. We never needed it, but today I see that women are very conscious, and why
Yeah.
not? I think I'm very open about it, because I feel that
Of
if you
course.
can get an eyebrow done, and you're taking care of your basic grooming,
Of
and you want
course.
to look good, it's a very, very positive thing. It's kind of a presentation. Why not? So it's a good thing if one feels like. But it is useless if you don't have a good lifestyle. So you should first focus, learn, condition your mind, and then go for such drastic measures. But that should, of course, be the last resort, and it's not needed for everybody. As far as the breast is concerned, breast is not a muscle; it's the mammary gland and the fat.
Okay.
So if it loosens up, again, there are surgical corrections to it. But yes, there are yoga and the push-ups which help the breast. The pectoralis major, the clavicular muscle, to develop well. So if the muscles are strong, it will not loosen. So you have to start early for that. Once it becomes very, very loose, if it's already become like that, it will not come back. So you must wear a good bra.
Okay.
Of course, that goes without
Okay.
saying.
Okay.
But then there are corrective surgeries which are very safe now, so you can go for that.
Okay. Lovely. एंड हाउ मच टाइम डू यू थिंक कि मसल को रेस्ट करने के लिए कितना टाइम, जैसे आज मैंने आर्म्स किया है और कल मैं लेग्स कर रही हूँ, तो मेरे कितना टाइम, कितना आवर्स देना चाहिए रेस्ट करने के लिए, सो दैट माय मसल रिलैक्सेस?
It depends, but the maximum time is 72 hours. We say some people, when you train very heavy, you may not feel, because your body is warm, and you may not feel anything at that time. And the next day you get up. Sometimes the next day you may not have soreness. The next day you have such soreness that you cannot even walk. That is called delayed onset of muscle soreness, DOMS we call it. It's
Okay.
very good to take a supplement called glutamine, which is it's an amino acid. It's very safe. It's the highest content of glutamine, the amino acid, which is present in our body. So that's glutamine is very, very abundant. Just like we are so much made up of water, we are made up of glutamine, and that's present in very high quantities in our body. So it's good to take that. But if you are not, resting yourself, you will not heal. But the maximum time should be 72 hours. If you feel that it's not healing after that, then you're doing something wrong, or you're overdoing something. uh, if you are training before you heal, then there will not be super compensation, because when you go to the gym, actually you're causing trauma and micro tears to the muscle. And
Okay.
when you get the nutrition and rest, it heals, and the brain gives a signal that this muscle is being used too much. It needs to become better and stronger. So when it heals and you're giving the rest and nutrition, the next time there will be super compensation. So it super compensates, getting hypertrophy. So that is the
Okay.
principle behind building muscle. So you should
Okay.
not, but sometimes it's not the micro trauma, it's the lactic acid. So you also
Okay.
need to increase your lactic acid threshold. So these are the two
Okay.
things to take care of, and you should say 72 hours. So if you want to do a second session of training, like say you want to do legs the second day, you should give a gap of 3 days, 72
And
hours.
what do you think, which is the hardest muscle to work out on?
That depends, on the person. Some people, women, find doing legs very easy. For me, legs is something which causes a lot of soreness every time I do it, no matter what. So some people genetically are gifted with more muscle fibers in a certain area. And some people have a lot of interest, and they are able to do certain moves very well. But in general, I have seen, in the last maybe 2 decades, that the muscle which people are very reluctant about training, and it's made fun of, and there are a lot of memes and jokes on it, is the leg muscle. Because it's the leg day, oh my god, that is like that's something which must have killed you.
नाइस, नाइस. एंड डज द ऑर्डर ऑफ वर्कआउट मैटर? कि आप वर्कआउट कर रहे हो, किस ऑर्डर में कर रहे हो?
Yes, it does matter. Say some people don't get time to do weight training every day. So when they want to do, say, chest, it's always better to do the bigger muscle first. So, like for example, in the chest muscle, the supporting and associated muscle is the tricep and shoulders. Now, you can do chest, shoulder, tricep in order of how big the muscle is. Suppose you do the tricep and shoulder, you will not be able to do justice to the chest muscle because the chest muscle is very huge. It's a very
Okay.
big muscle. So you need
Yep.
to lift very heavy. If you've already exhausted the supporting and small muscle, you will not be able to do it. So it's always better to do the big muscle first. And then even if you have not done the smaller muscle, it's actually partly trained already. So what we do is we train the big muscle, and the small muscle is then just touched. It just needs to be touched because it's already gone through the micro trauma. So it kind of completes it. So always the major muscle first and the minor muscles later. And always
Okay.
weight training first and the cardio later.
Acha. Okay.
Because
Cardio
in weight
later.
training, yes,
I
because in
understand.
the weight training, what happens is you need to have muscle glycogen in the body. This is one very very big myth. I'll just talk for a few seconds about it. It's very very important because see, when you start walking, first what burns first is the blood sugar. That is used first. Then it
Mm-hmm.
is the liver glycogen that is used. When that
Mm-hmm.
gets exhausted, it is only then that the stored fat will start getting used. Now, if
Mm-hmm.
you have no carbohydrate in your body, there is something called the Krebs cycle, which actually the substrate undergoes to start burning the fat. If you have
Mm-hmm.
so the basic component of that is oxaloacetate, which is a carbohydrate. There's carbohydrate in nature. CHO, it's got carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. It has a carbohydrate nature. So
Mm-hmm.
if you have no carbohydrate, the fat will not burn anyways. Now, when
Mm-hmm.
you go to weight training after your cardio, your muscle glycogen, you have no glycogen in your body. Your weight training will not be good enough. So you have not burned fat and you are not doing good weight training. So it's absolutely futile. So if you are
Mm-hmm.
go and do your weight training first, now you have muscle glycogen in your body. Your weight
Okay.
training is 100%. Now you have
Okay.
already exhausted all the glycogen. All the carbohydrate gets
Okay.
exhausted during your weight training. After
Okay.
that, when you go for your cardio, uh,
Okay.
right from the very first minute, the stored fat will start getting used.
Okay.
So, your weight training was good. And when you do your cardio, the actual purpose of cardio should be your stored fat that is to be utilized. So, both the purposes are solved. So, always weight training first. When you go to a gym, the trainer wants you to pass some time on, okay, cardio kar lo. And then,
हाँ, पहले बोलते हैं कार्डियो करने के लिए.
they see their convenience. So
Okay.
cardio, you just do you need to warm up. That's it. Now you can warm up in 101 ways, and the best way to warm up is to actually move the joints. Rotate the joints which you are going to use, or stand in one place and do a light warm up and stretching. That is the best way to warm up. If you just don't feel like doing it, some people don't feel like doing it, so they do a 10-minute slow walk. But if you're going to
Okay.
finish your cardio and then you're going to do weight training, it's just going to be absolutely useless. You see, you may get thin.
Okay.
मेरे घर में काम करने वाली आती है, वो भी thin है,
Perfect.
but you don't have a structure in place. You need a
Of course.
structure. So
Of
if you
course.
need a body, because you look at the body, even if you're you say bodybuilders, let's say bodybuilders, if you look at an athlete, even if I'm wearing full sleeves and jeans and I'm not sticky thin, people will know that this person is special. This person is a sports person. They will know it from the first look, even if you're fully covered. So
Of course.
that thing, that strength in the way you stand, in the way you sit, your stance, everything, the way you walk, it will have a strength in it. So how you move, everything has a very very solid strength in it. That comes when you're doing things the correct way.
Ma'am, is cardio bad for muscle gain?
No, it's not. You need to burn fat. You need to burn fat. You need to have a good pulmonary capacity. Cardiovascular is actually to improve the condition of your heart.
Okay.
People who do cardiovascular exercise have got something which is known as athlete's heart. Even my pulse rate when I'm resting is around 50, something between 50 and 55. If you see a
Mhm.
normal person, the normal person's pulse rate will be around 70 to 72. But if you
Okay.
take a person who is into physical activity, the pulse rate will be something between 50 and 60. Why? Because the heart, even when it pumps once, is pumping a large amount of blood volume into the body. So,
Mhm.
if you have a good, to develop when you're doing weight training, if you lift very heavy, you will get breathless. So, if you want to do good weight training, you should be having good cardiovascular capacity. And to maintain a healthy heart is something which you need to do to remain alive. So, you should not be doing excess of it. As I told you about the Krebs cycle, if you're doing excessive cardio, the cortisol level, which is the hormone which starts utilizing muscle for energy, that start the stress level, the cortisol will go up, and because of the carbohydrate that is needed in the Krebs cycle to burn fat, you will not get the benefit. So cardiovascular should not be overdone, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't do cardio. Cardio is very, very important, and you can do cardiovascular exercises in many ways. So when I went to my teacher's guru, she's 83 years old. She's a Bharatnatyam dancer, and she's like amazing. And these are the doubts which we have at our age. And the first question I asked her quietly, secretly, I am aging, and what do I do? Like I'm worried whether I will ever be able to achieve it. She told me
Mhm.
just one, just take care of your knees and your lower back. Don't get injured. Don't get any issues, and you can do anything. So then she asked me about cardiovascular exercise, and I told her that at the time I used to go to the sports complex and do running, and I even did a marathon. So she said, stop running. You will get a lot of cardiovascular exercise in Bharatnatyam. When you're doing this, you can't do this and that and this and that. So you can do cardiovascular exercises in many ways. If you're not doing anything, running is a wonderful thing. But you should know the stance. You should understand running. I actually, when I went, my son did his graduation in UK. I'd gone to Newcastle. There was a sports university there. They actually have, the floor has, under the floor, the wooden floor, they have the nodes of the computer connected to it. And they see with how much force the athlete is applying on the ground. What is the stance? What is the starting strength? What are the video recordings? So when you understand how to run from a professional person, I really advocate that when you're doing something like that, you must understand everything very, very deeply and professionally. And so that some people have it to them naturally. That's why you see them at 100 years of age. We hear about Milkha Singh, we hear about
Yeah.
maybe his mother, who go and running. They have that anatomy. Even Usain Bolt, he, if you see his stance, the way his foot is, they have that in them naturally. But if everybody doesn't have it, and so you need to understand and do take baby steps and grow on changing the process of learning, unlearning, and relearning. That is life. So if you understand that, and then you can do. But your question, of course, I deviated away. But cardiovascular should be done properly in any form, and whatever you do should be done in the correct way.
Right, right, ma'am. Got it. Ma'am, we have come to the end of the session now. So, the last one, two questions. So, you were one of the faces in the Forbes magazine. So, it is an achievement. It is a dream for everybody. How does it feel?
Oh, yes, that was very special. I got a call from the Forbes people, and I thought it's a prank, and I was going to, tell her that, don't play these dirty games with me. And then, she named somebody, who was nominated me, and then I was like amazed. Somebody, I mean, I wouldn't have ever expected. And so that was a very, very pleasant surprise. And so then the next day I saw that, they listed me first on that. And that was very, very special. And that will, that's so close to my heart. It was, it will stay in my heart. It was in 2020 only on Women's Day. So that will be with me for life. I'm so
I
grateful for
know. It's so commendable and so it's a prestigious thing. Forbes
that.
Guy, it is a dream for everybody.
Yeah,
One
well, we
change,
can't live
yeah.
without. for it.
It is like one dream. So one change in fitness industry or the bodybuilding industry you want to get.
Oh, yes, bodybuilding industry, that is because it's a subjective sport and it's extremely market driven. We see people who are having a lot of Instagram followers who become big stars. When I was competing, initially we didn't have that much focus on social media. So our very purpose was to build the body, to work at the gym and win medals for the country. Since the government is not supporting it and it's not an Olympic sport, because of that, it's become absolutely market driven. So it's not a state supported sport. So if the government is, giving help in some form, I had applied for Dhyan Chand Award. I've got, a series of very genuine, medals, but they don't encourage bodybuilding. So if that comes in, and it doesn't remain, and people must acknowledge people who done it
Of
on the
course,
ground, won actual medals for the country, rather than people who just become brand ambassadors because of Instagram followers. That
of
is
course.
something which must change. There has to be a actual realignment of that whole thing.
Of course, it's a high time now. The revolution should come, and people should start taking and seeing things how things are changing, and adapt it, Vesey. So, and one thing to the viewers or the fitness lovers, you would want one message would you would like to give to the fitness lovers.
I feel that you must work, you should consider this as something which you're going to do throughout your life, and not just for how you're looking. Focus on what you're able to do, and that will help you to explore life and live life to its fullest potential, which is actually the sacred duty, because you are born in on this earth. If you really think of why you're born on this earth and where you go after this, it's so intriguing. And you just have one life, so if you want to live to the fullest, never compromise on your health and fitness. You need to do the maximum amount of work till the last day of your life. And so it's the greatest prayer to God.
Lovely, ma'am. You one of my inspiration. I'm gonna follow all of these. I'll try to follow indeed all of these to my routine and my lifestyle in whatever way I can. It was wonderful, you having here on us with Bate Kuch Dil Se. One last question. How did you like our show, ma'am, Bate Kuch Dil Se?
I really enjoyed, because one of the main reasons, like, I really spoke dil se, and I spoke so much from my heart, and I had all the space to say. I always have a lot to say. You won't believe, there was a talk which I did recently, and that 1 hour talk went on to 4 hours. I connected with them. I have a
Arre,
lot to say. It's a wonderful platform, that I'm able to talk not just about my personal journey or things like that. I'm able to talk about fitness and
of course,
enlighten people in whatever way I can. So I mean,
of
really
course,
thanks to you, and this is going to be very special too for me. Very, very memorable.
of course.
I
It's a
hope
very
that you
special
will leave
episode.
this. You will leave this on some platform, maybe on Facebook or.
Yeah, yeah, of
Uh,
course, of course, of course. We live three places on YouTube, Facebook, and everywhere. Even your people would be seeing you live at this point of time, and it was
so that
wonderful.
keep as a memory, this video. I think
Yeah,
it's going
of
to
course, of
be.
course. This is gonna be a very special episode for me because you're like a Wonder Woman, and women who are into fitness, you like a dream to them, and you are one of mine. So I want to be fit till I die. If I'm 80, also I want to be that fit and look good. As people look good in 80s. I don't look like 80 when I'm 80. I should look like 50 when I'm 80. So that is the target. So yeah.
Women like that, and when I know it's humanly possible, and I've seen so many examples in India, in US, I've seen. So I'm also
Yeah,
very, very motivated. Like, I have that
of course,
desire.
of course.
I
And I
believe
had you as a motivation, so I'm gonna follow you now.
I'm following you, and I'm going to see all the wonderful interviews. One of the very, very beautiful and upcoming interviews is of a lady, wonderful lady, who is going to talk about, she's about the Vedas, and the ancient heritage.
Yeah,
I'm really looking forward to that. I love
so
the
next
interview
episode.
with Major
Tomorrow
General
we
Vipin.
are gonna. Yeah,
He's
tomorrow.
He really inspires me, being 60 years of age, and he's so fit and he's so wonderful to talk to. So I'm going to
I know.
look forward to every interview that you do, and I'm going to watch and learn from that.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for being so humble, kind, and gracious. I mean, you made my day, and thank you so much for being on our show, ma'am.
Thank you. Thanks to you too. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a good night, ma'am.
You too.
Wow. So that was ma'am sharing all the experiences of whatever she had, and there was so much to talk to. I mean, the conversation would have gone long because मेरे तो इतने questions आ रहे थे, and we have those time restrictions, you know. But in the end I would only like to see जो मैम से जो बात हुई और जो हमने निचोड़ लगा निकाला इस पूरे episode का, you know, approach to health and fitness should be very simple, effective and sustainable, जैसे मैम ने बोला. And you should believe in any program, you know, you must be able to hit all these points to make progression in those key goals that you always wanted. बस इन सब चीजों को आप इफेक्टिवली और सस्टेनेबली, मतलब अगर आप उसको तरीके से आप लगा देते हैं, तो आई थिंक आपके लिए कोई भी ड्रीम और कोई भी अचीवमेंट अपनी फिटनेस को लेके कुछ भी डिफिकल्ट नहीं है. एंड आई डू थिंक, यू नो, पीपल ओवर कॉम्प्लिकेट routines and strategies when it comes to weight loss on building muscles. And another factor is also that no, we all want to hit our goals today, when in fact, you know, time, commitment, diligence is required to get anything you want. And there are certain restrictions हैं, लेकिन obviously अगर आप determined हैं तो कुछ भी possible है. And changing your health or your body composition is not something that happens overnight, trust me. बहुत लंबी मेहनत है, बहुत लंबी हार्डशिप है, बहुत लंबी डेडिकेशन है, और बेसिकली सस्टेनेबिलिटी है और कमिटमेंट है. ये आज हमने सीखा मैम से. और इसी के साथ हम आ गए एंड ऑफ द शो में. एंड इट वाज लवलिंग ऑल ऑफ यू, इट वाज लवलिंग हैविंग यू हियर, एंड यू हैव बीन अ वंडरफुल व्यूअर. आई होप you love the show. And we have come to the end of the episode. This is your host and host, Kanak Bharat Parasha, signing off for now. I'm a mother of a beautiful daughter, 14 years of industry experience, founder of Ashwina Jewels, Queen for a Day contest, in Kids Design Studio, और अब आपके अपने शो बातें कुछ दिल से में. Signing off for now. We'll catch up with you tomorrow. The show is powered by Bakshi Group of Companies. So see you tomorrow at the same time, at the same I hope we हमने कर दिया. How was it, ma'am?
Lovely, lovely. I really enjoyed this. That's
I
why
did.
I hope I get a recording of this, you know. So I'm really going to keep it, you know. I'm just going to save it.
And this is gonna be on YouTube. I'll share the link. YouTube का link share कर दूंगी, वहां पर होगा. और Facebook पे मैंने already आपको tag कर दिया है, तो वो आपके already page पे show हो रहा होगा. So you can just save it, and YouTube पे तो already रहेगा. I'll just share the link. And it was lovely having you, and it was lovely talking. And when I'm gonna come Delhi next, I'm gonna see you.
Yes, I will really look forward to that. Make sure you do.
And I'm gonna trouble you now because you know मैं सच्ची में कुछ questions तो मैं अपने से related ही पूछ रही थी, because मेरे ना back, मेरा posture खराब हो गया है. मेरी बेटी के बाद ना C-section था, so मेरे ना stitches खुल गए थे. तो मेरी मम्मी उस समय बोलती थी सीधा खड़ी हो, और मुझे ना पेन होता था. पेन की वजह से ना मैं ना ऐसे खड़ी हो जाती थी, you know. तो मेरा ना back posture ही खराब हो गया. तो मैं अब just worried कि क्या ये posture ठीक हो सकता है मेरा?
होता है, वो ठीक होता है, but वो टाइम लगता है. बट यू नो, यू हैव टू थिंक कि ठीक होगा या नहीं होगा. यू हैव टू जस्ट फोकस कि मैंने जो उसके लिए योगा करना है वो मैंने करते रहना है. एंड इट्स लाइक मैजिक, यू नो. इफ यू थिंक ठीक हो रहा है, वो आपको लगेगा नहीं. बट वन फाइन डे एट सम स्टेज ऑफ योर लाइफ यू सडनली फील इट्स ऑल गॉन. बिकॉज आई हैव बीन थ्रू इट मिलियंस ऑफ टाइम्स. सच थिंग्स मैंने इतनी देखी है. I can't talk on everything on show, but you know, I was tortured a lot by my in-laws. I had to leave them and come. And my stage was such that if I'm sitting, I couldn't stand. If I'm standing, I could not sit. I was so fragile. I mean, I completely broken. I thought I will die. You know, I will not be able to survive it. And then I came and I started, you know, when I started teaching my son how to swim and do skating, and I started physical activity and everything. it came back. Everything became okay. So it's a
That's right.
process. If you
That's
if you
right.
think too much about the result, like गीता में कहते हैं ना कि फल की चिंता मत करो. If you just keep doing, you should know these are the right things to do. If you strengthen your lower back, especially for your case, it's the